I mean, we've lost, what, 3,000 shelter beds since 2004, I think. Is that right? And I mean, in other words, just getting back to where we were way back then when homelessness was also a problem, even trying to then bite off a chunk of actually fixing beyond that and such, are there any solid plans out there?
Well, I mean, the crazy thing about homelessness, right, is that it is a complicated, difficult issue, but it's not brain surgery. We know what the answer is to homelessness. You know, if you want people to be off the street, you have to give them a home. You have to give them housing, a place to be. And there are things that are working. I'll tell you, one of the things that is the most disappointing about what I'm doing right now is that I'm doing in Santa Clara what I wish people could do in San Francisco. You know, we are trying to address the 6,500 people who are living on the streets of the county by actually building supportive housing for them, right? Because navigation centers, shelters are an important part of the process, of the solution, but they're not the solution. They're not housing.
I used to be a big supporter of the navigation center until I learned they're kicked out after 30 or 60 days. I mean,
So we know what it takes to solve this issue. It's housing, it's supportive services, so that if you have mental health issues, that those issues can be addressed, so that if you have substance abuse issues, that those issues can be addressed. And so the city that knows how to make things happen should get this right. And I think that Prop C provides that opportunity. The problem I have is that there is so much talk and so much discussion, and yet you still see the same problems on the street. And I say this as a former supervisor, it really broke my heart that I would go to a tent, talk the person into going into the navigation center, and then 30 days later they're out, right? It's like, how do you make that case as a supervisor, right? But unless they have a place for them to go, the same thing will continue to happen. So this creates an opportunity to make that happen. If I were the mayor, I would use this, the will of the public to say, the will of the voters, okay, let's go build that housing. Let's provide those services. And I think that the board wants to work with her to make that happen. Let's make it happen. But if we don't, again, the voters will step in and do what needs to be done.
Okay, and Light, I have the last question. It's a very quick question.
it's your name on the show.
Michelle can ask anything.
Well, I mean, thank you so much for joining us here at the Commonwealth Club and for the program and for your thoughts. It really, is so great to have you. My last question to you is, any plans? I mean, you mentioned serving as a deputy executive clerk for Santa Clara County, and of course you serve chair of the SFDCCC, but you've also been in San Francisco politics. Any plans to get back into running for office?
I'll tell you this, when I do, you'll be the first one to find out.
I was kind of hoping that I am the first one to find out on this show, right here. David, thank you so much for joining us here at the Commonwealth Club.
Thank you.